Hello and welcome to Female Cricket Live. What an exciting day of cricket did we witness today thanks to the double header of the 12th edition of ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. So, what happened during the day today? There were a couple of matches that were being played. The first match was played between South Africa and Bangladesh. So, what happened in that match is South Africa batted first and they were bowled out for 207 in 49.5 overs. And in reply, Bangladesh could manage 175, losing the match by 32 runs. For South Africa, Marizan Kaap top scored with 42 runs, while for Bangladesh, it was Sharmeen Akhtar who was the top performer with bat, scoring 34 runs. With the ball, for South Africa, Ayabonga Khaka picked up 4 wickets and she also completed the feat of 100 ODI wickets in her career and has become only the fifth South African bowler to achieve this feat. Whereas for Bangladesh, it was young Fariha Trisna, the left-arm seamer, who was just playing her second ODI. She picked up 3 wickets in her full quota of 10 overs. So this was a brief roundup of what happened between South Africa and Bangladesh today. Then we had another exciting contest between the Ashes rivals, that is Australia and England. It was a high-scoring contest. More than 600 runs was scored in this match. Australia batting first, they piled up 310 runs at the loss of just 3 wickets in 50 overs, thanks to Rachel Haynes' unbelievable 130 runs of 131 balls and Captain Meg Lanning scoring 86 runs. England definitely gave a tough fight as they managed to score 298 for 8 in 50 overs thanks to Nat Siver's unbeaten century and Tammy Beaumont's 74 of 82 balls. With the ball for Australia, it was young leg spinner Alana King who was the pick of the bowlers as she picked up 3 wickets in her 10 overs, conceding 59 runs. While for England, it was again Nat Siver who was among the wickets as she picked up 2 wickets and receiving good support from Catherine Brunt, who struck with 1 wicket. Rachel Haynes won the player of the match for this match for her match winning performance of 130 runs of 131 balls. So, this was a brief roundup of what happened in the two matches that were played today during this double header. All right, so moving on, we have a very exciting contest that is going to be played. It is going to be between India and Pakistan. Yes, these two teams they do not play often. We only see them playing in the World Cups. So I'm sure all the fans in both countries, India, Pakistan, and of course globally, they are very excited to watch this contest between India and Pakistan. It will be played tomorrow, March 6th. The match will be played at the Bay Oval in Mount Maunganui. It will start at 6:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and you can catch all the live action on Star Sports and Disney Plus Hotstar. So to talk about this exciting contest between India and Pakistan, I have with me Omkar Acharya, Mihir Shah, Dhanush Lavanya, and Mrinal Asija. So Omkar Acharya and Mihir Shah are avid cricket followers, big cricket fans, and they belong to this exciting community called the North Stand Gang, which belongs to, of course, Amchi Mumbai, Wankhede Stadium. And then we have Dhanush Lavanya, who is a content writer at Female Cricket, and Mrinal Asija, who is a social media manager at The Bridge. The Bridge is a one stop solution for all the Olympic sports and, of course, women's cricket. So, all the data that you need with respect to Olympic sports and women's cricket, you can find it on The Bridge. So, it is a pleasure to have all of you on Female Cricket Live.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Great. So Mihir, I'm sure the excitement levels are very high. You, of course, belonging to the North Stand gang, cheering for Indian men's team, Indian women's team back in the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. So, how are you looking at this India-Pakistan contest?
Oh, very excited. So, any India Pakistan game, be it in any tournament, it is a high pressure game. A lot of people look forward for it, and especially in the World Cup, where our team has done really well in the previous edition, and we have an upper hand against Pakistan comparing to last 2 3 years of performance in the women's cricket. So it's really exciting going ahead, and hope so. Our girls do well tomorrow, and we come up on top.
Omkar, good evening and welcome to Female Cricket Live.
Yeah.
Today, as we are hyping up ourselves for the India versus Pakistan match, which is like the biggest match when it comes to ICC tournaments, and everyone knows it's going to be a box office match for sure. And as far as the records we see between India Pakistan in the women's format, it's 10-0. India have a landslide win against them every single time they have faced. How will the standards be according to you in this match?
I think this is going to be a great match because of India-Pakistan match. Like Mihir said, that in any format, be it cricket or any other sport, it's going to be a blockbuster. And when it comes to cricket, especially World Cup, we know how the players are being motivated and they 100% put the 100% efforts for their win. And as per the records, we are 10-0 up. So hoping to make it 11-0 tomorrow because the way our players have played in the two warm-up matches, despite having a poor bilateral series in New Zealand, but we got to know how the pitches will be in the World Cup by playing that bilateral series, and that's why it was a good result for us in the warm-up matches. So definitely an exciting contest, especially for the captain Mithali Raj. It might be her last World Cup, and we want to win it for her.
Absolutely, Omkar, cannot agree more with you on this. That probably Mithali Raj and Jhulan Goswami are playing their last World Cup, and
Last
let us
one.
make this amazing swan song for these two legends of Indian women's cricket. So मीर मुझे आपसे पूछना है कि इंडिया का स्क्वाड जो है 15 मेंबर स्क्वाड है, 3 रिजर्व प्लेयर्स भी है. तो आपको क्या लगता है ये स्क्वाड के बारे में? वेल बैलेंस स्क्वाड है या कुछ इम्प्रूवमेंट हो सकती थी? आपके क्या थॉट्स है स्क्वाड के बारे में?
I think it's a very well balanced squad, except for, in my personal opinion, if it obviously the selectors would not go for it, but I would have gotten Shikha over there. Yeah, she has not been in a good form in previous some bilateral series, but she is an experienced player. She would have been lethally handled over there. But then we have got, but again we have got good pace attack with Julandi, and then we have got. Rajeshri Gaikwad is there, Vastrakar is there. So the seam attack is there, and then we all know about Poonam Yadav, how she can turn around the match. Like if I were to say, she is one of the best going around in the game currently. And in terms of the batting, we have two very exciting talents, Richa and Shefali. Nobody can match that this two in the world cricket currently. Like they are the most sought property. Like if we saw in the 100 also, they also have got contracts. They have been renewed again. So yeah, very well balanced squad, and with Harman coming back in form, so that's a good sign. Basically, that was the most worrisome thing which was going on in the bilateral series and before that also. But yes, and as Omkar just mentioned, we have been there for almost a month and so over there. So the conditions have been known over there, which will be very helpful.
Omkar, like how Mihir said, Shifali and Richa Ghosh is going to be two big names that we will be looking forward to for expecting them to perform. Because if we see the Pakistan bowling unit at if we see their side altogether, they have a very good batting and bowling. There is the captain Maroof. There is Alia Reyes, who has been extremely good with the bat. She has a really good record with the bat over the last few years. I have to say she has been exceptional, but I question why she is playing at number 6, number 7, because consistently she scores for 40 plus runs. And in the bowling as well, there is Fatima Sana, there is Gulam Fatima, there is guys like Nashra Sandhu has been extremely good. She has taken like 7 wickets in the warm-up games. And what do you expect the Indian batsmen, because this is a big heavy batting unit, right? What are you expecting from them? Who is going to be the name you are looking after?
Like you mentioned that they have a pretty good bowling attack. Like in the warm-up matches, we saw how they restricted New Zealand, the host, for a decent total, and they chased it down pretty well. And even they defended I'm sorry, against Bangladesh while playing the second warm-up. So definitely, I would say Nashra Sandhu and Fatima Sana will be a threat for us, but we have Julian Goswami as well on our side who can, with their experience, bowl good line and lengths and restrict the batsman. So I would say that for me, experience would be the first teacher, first player for me will be experience because without experience you can't play in, you can't perform at the bigger stages. So definitely Julian Goswami for me.
Right. So as we are talking about Jhulan Goswami, who has been the pace sensation of the Indian women's cricket team, we are joined by another India's pace spearhead, Niranjana Nagarajan. She's a India player, former India player, of course, and still continues to play cricket for Tamil Nadu. So Niranjana, we are glad to have you here, and I'm sure you have played with Jhulan Goswami, Mithali Raj, and your inputs will be very helpful for us going into this conversation. Welcome to you, Niranjana.
Hi, hello everybody. Very glad to be a part of this show. Uh, Yes, of course. As Omkar mentioned, experience is the first thing. Even in club cricket or in state level matches, they prefer experience over anything, because to handle a situation, you definitely need experience. To how to bowl a particular spell, or how to, if supposing one or two wickets fall, how to bowl in that situation, and how to anchor an innings. Definitely these two people are one of the greatest strengths of the current Indian team. And talking about Julan Goswami, she has been one of India's. I mean, I think she will always remain India's greatest seamer. And going into this World Cup, people. I mean, there's always been a lot of expectations out of her, but this time I think Julan ma'am by herself will be expecting a lot out of her, and she would want to give her 100% to the team, because it might most probably be her last campaign in the World Cup, or appearances for the Indian team in the in a major event. So I think Julan will be holding a very very key role in the Indian team this time.
Mihir, I had to ask you one question here, which is related to Indian batting. Richa Ghosh, Shafari Verma, we all know they will be the ones, the highlight packages as far as the Team India is concerned. Who are the other batsmen whom you are expecting to see going big in this match against Pakistan?
See, the longer format, Mithali has been there. She has done it all. She has to be the core. Like the team has to be evolving and revolving around her. Like she has to be. She is the core. Then you have got the firepower on the top with Shefali, Richa to finish it off. So whatever is in the between, Mithali has to be in the core, and Smriti, Harman, and Dipti. So I think so. We have got a very good top six with us. And going into tomorrow's match, if we bat first and if we score say 260 to 65, it is like that against that Pakistani batting unit. I think it's more than enough. It's like that because they might have the bowling, but I feel the batting is still on a weaker side compared to India. And this six, I think so it's one of the better going top six in world cricket currently. So yes, Mithali is the one. And yes,
Yeah,
as
and I just would like to add a point here. As he mentioned, it's always going to be around Mithali. But what's the advantage the Indian team is having here is players like Richa and Smriti have started peaking at the right time. The end of the New Zealand series, they've started really. I mean, Richa had a great series, and I think she's one player to watch out for. I think she has immense potential to have a long career in the Indian team. So I think these few players, these two, Smriti will be an X factor. Her form will surely be an X factor, and Richa is, the contribution in the middle order will definitely add on to India's stability in the batting in. I mean, throughout the World Cup, not only for tomorrow's game.
Hello, Niranjana ma'am. Ma'am, India-Pakistan matches are they always carry a lot of hype around them from the outside. So even though both the captains have said in the press conferences that they'll be treating it as just another game and playing it the same way, but do you think there's always an added pressure when you're going into something that's been so hyped up and been talked about by everyone from the outside?
That's definitely true. I wouldn't call it pressure. I would call it, I mean, as someone who has played a World Cup game against Pakistan, I've played two World Cup game against Pakistan, and I know how it feels. It's a high intensity game, and even though we as players do not have any kind of a rivalry or a rift between ourselves, the hype which is created by the media and the surroundings will give you a lot of butterflies till the time the match starts. Of course, everybody will want to perform well, and it's the opening game of the World Cup, and both the teams will want to do well. But probably, as the captains are mentioning, if they take it as just another game, the chances of performing and the results are way far better than taking it as a high pressure game. But definitely, I think Mithali is somebody who always have handled pressure. Uh, in a very very calm way. She doesn't show it out. Even if she's handling a lot of pressure, I think she's always stepped up to people's expectations, her own expectations. Going into tomorrow's game, though both the captains have said that it's going to be any other game, I would say that it's India slightly advantage India.
Right. Coming to you, Omkar, we were discussing that there are a lot of senior players like Mithali Raj, Julian Goswami, Harmanpreet Kaur in India side. Even in Pakistan side, there Nida Dar, there's the captain Visma Baru who's coming back after a break. So these are the players who have played in such pressure situations at the big stage. But there are a lot of debutants as well in both the sides who are making their World Cup debut. So if you had to pick like a couple of names, a couple of youngsters who you're really excited to watch in tomorrow's game, who would they be?
I guess definitely it would be Richa Ghosh because the way she has played. And one thing is on the debut players that sometimes during the big matches we expect more from the experienced players than the debut players. We expect less from the debut players, which itself sometimes decreases the pressure from them because they know that I don't have much pressure, so I can play freely, and sometimes this results in the favor of them, and they play a good innings because in the last World Cup we saw that Poonam Raut was playing really well, and in the final as well where we narrowly missed out because the whole pressure was around Harmanpreet Kaur and Mithali Raj, and Poonam Raut played a really great knock. So definitely, if a debutant has pressure, he can handle pressure maybe, but the thing is that a player should always think of how should she should keep his head calm, or and maybe she should have more patience. She should talk to the senior players, especially to the captain, like how to manage these things while going into a big World Cup match against that too against Pakistan.
Right, it's all about handling the pressure. Moving on to the conditions, Niranjana ma'am, we saw New Zealand were not able to chase down 259 in the first game, which was in the same venue. How are you expecting the conditions tomorrow be at the Bay Oval? Will they favor the batters? Will they favor the bowlers? How do you expect it to be?
See, I wouldn't say they were not able to chase down. If you ask me, they just let the game slip away. I mean, they were. It was almost there. There. It was. That's about handling pressure. That's the answer to the previous question actually. So I think the wicket is neutral. There's nothing for. I mean, I wouldn't probably the bowlers. The wickets in the New Zealand. They have probably a little extra bounce. I wouldn't say it really does much for the bowlers, nor it's as flat as what we find in India. It's a very neutral wicket. That's what I can say. So I think. I don't think the wicket is going to play much of a difference. And the team, if you ask me, the team batting first will. I mean, the team winning the toss will definitely choose to bat first because it's the first game for both the teams tomorrow going to the World Cup, and chasing is always going to be pressure. We saw that in yesterday's game, last over, how New Zealand actually collapsed. So I think the wicket is not going to make much of a difference. It's going to be a very neutral wicket.
Right. May we have already seen four centuries, two of which were in that New Zealand West Indies game, and two were today in the Australia England game. So just three games, and we have already seen four centuries. Are you expecting more tomorrow in India Pakistan game? And if yes, who will be scoring it?
Okay. Obviously, I'm expecting, and I'm expecting either it should be Smriti or Shefali. Like Shefali always gives us the good start, but then again she has to go and make it big. It is like that. So I'm expecting Shefali to make it big, and being her debut World Cup in ODI cricket, I think so it will make a big statement.
Right. So Mir thinks that Smriti or Shefali, the two Indian openers, they have a good chance of making a century in tomorrow's all exciting contest between India and Pakistan. So Niranjana, let me ask you that India is going into this World Cup opener against Pakistan with a couple of wins in the warm-up matches. One, we can say a nail-biting contest against South Africa, and one, a pretty easy win against West Indies. So according to you, what could be the takeaways for India going into this World Cup now from these
So
warm-up
it's
games?
amazing. It's definitely an amazing thing that India has won both the warm up games. I would say that probably the win against the New Zealand in the ODI series, the last win against the New Zealand, that must have given them a world of confidence. Getting into the World Cup, and the preparation and everything, the momentum of preparation, the mindset, everything would have changed with that win, and the girls would have been fresh in their mind going into the warm up games. And it's really really an amazing thing that India has won both the games, and that the takeaway will, I mean, the approach of the team will just remain the same. Will they will not want to do anything extra, just keep things simple. The major takeaway will be the confidence of the players, down 4-1 with the New Zealand and then entering the World Cup, and Harman's form will be one of the takeaways definitely. Stabilizing the middle order there, and Smriti's form, and the bowlers have defended a a decent total. So everything is just shaping up. The team has balanced well. They've tried the right combinations in these two games. So I think getting into the first match tomorrow, the main game, it's the perfect setup that has been already formed in the in the warm up games. So definitely the girls will go with their full intent tomorrow to win this game.
Omkar, Harmanpreet Kaur is one name that a lot of people will be expecting in this tournament to score, because she hasn't been that good over the last couple of years. And now coming into the World Cup, in the warm up game, she scored a century against South Africa. And I guess that will give a lot of confidence to her. And since we all remember Harmanpreet Kaur being that big 171 runs that she scored in the semi-final against Australia, we remember that it is a big part of Indian women's cricket, and into generations we are going to talk about it. In this World Cup, in the first match, if she starts up well, she is going to make it big, is what I feel. Do you also feel the same?
Yes, definitely. Because the way she batted in the 171 innings against Australia in the last World Cup which we played, it was really great of innings that where you can start a bit slow, and then she's the way she accelerated and just destroyed the Aussie bowling lineup, especially when the team was almost the favorites to win the World Cup. So if she gets going tomorrow, it will be a huge boost, and I would expect if she gets a great start, then we will definitely expect runs around 120, 125 from her itself.
As we are talking about India's batting and Harmanpreet Kaur, of course. So, Mir, let me ask you that in one of the warm-up matches, I think it was against West Indies, when India played against West Indies, we saw Yastika Bhatia opening the batting with Smriti Mandhana, and it was not Shefali Verma. We saw Shefali Verma opening the batting with Smriti Mandhana against South Africa in the warm-up match, but not against West Indies. So, do you think India will try that combination, or will they stick to Smriti and Shefali only?
I don't think so. They will try it as of now. They will stick with Shefali only. It was maybe an experiment they wanted to try. If yeah, so whatever is the result, maybe it's a long tournament. It's a round robin tournament, so maybe you might have to try it on a later stage if it a situation arises. But I think so. Smriti and Shefali have been playing together and opening since I think so a year and a half or so. So I think so they will stick to that.
Niranjana, the batting is pretty much set up. Like how Mihir said, the top six is one of the best in the tournament, if we are not wrong. As far as the bowling is concerned, Sneha Rana, Poonam Yadav, and Rajeshwari Gaikwad, three great spinners in the bowling unit, and also there is Deepthi Sharma, so four excellent spinners in the side. But as far as the pace bowling department is concerned, Julan Goswami is the only one whom I see being that experienced one who has the capacity to play big games. Who are the other pacers whom we are seeing in this side, being a partner to Julan?
See, Pooja Vasrakar has done well off late. Pooja has done well off late. So since she has the advantage of batting also, so I think they will back Pooja. They will start grooming her for big games definitely. And Meghna Singh has not appeared in the one day series as much as we would have liked her to appear. But yeah, definitely, if you take this Renuka or Pooja and Meghna, I think Pooja Vasrakar will be the first choice only because she has an addition of batting, definitely. And I think that's what they've been trying right in the previous games also. And I think she has done reasonably well, with the bat, and she has been amongst, though not fifers or four-fours, one or two wickets she's chipping in between, and she's had a decent run. Probably not, she's not had a great spell of bowling of late, but definitely she's given that kind of a confidence to the captain where she can go. The captain can go to Pooja Vaslikar for the second medium pace all rounder. So in that aspect, I see Julian and Pooja Vaslikar uh, playing tomorrow. But if they're going with two fast bowlers and three spinners, this will be the combination. If they're going for three fast bowlers and two spinners, then I think Meghna should be a part of it, and I also feel that they will do that. But again, considering Meghna has not played, so Renuka is there out in the middle. She's done well, one or two wickets here and there. She chipped, and she has improved as a bowler after she started playing for the Indian team. I've played against her in domestic, but what I've seen of her is she's consistently hitting the deck now with some good pace. So I think Pooja and Julian will be the first choice. The third seamer should be, should ideally be Renuka, and then they'll go to Meghna. This will be the combination. That's what I feel.
So, Niranjana, as you are talking about bowling, and we are still not sure whether India is going to go ahead with two seamers, three spinners, or three seamers, two spinners. But let me ask you that how are the New Zealand conditions going to treat these bowlers? Because we have seen a lot of wind and breeze. There could be swing on offer. But how could the bowlers use these conditions? And also, if you can tell us that how can the spinners, Indian spinners especially, bowl better? Because in the New Zealand series as well, we saw the New Zealand batters, especially Amelia Kerr, she was slog sweeping the Indian bowlers. So,
Yeah.
what could be the strategies that the Indian bowlers can use in these New Zealand conditions?
See, it only gave the New Zealand series will actually it can be a blessing in disguise for the Indian team because they exactly know what to do and how to deal with the conditions now in the World Cup. Now that they have played 5 games earlier prior to the World Cup, ideally it should be three fast bowlers and two spinners. And with Deepthi Sharma being the off spinner, I don't think they'll play another off spinner in Sneha Rana. It will either be uh, the leg spinner Poonam Yadav or the left arm spinner. And even both of them, I feel the left arm spinner will be more effective because the left arm spinner with the semi new ball will have a lot of drift. And Deepthi is a very street smart cricketer. She's not going to give you again that particular length of the batsman to slog sweep. So probably they would have done their homework. They would have done a lot of video analysis. All these things, the time which they got behind prior to the World Cup, could have made them analyze how to improve their bowling strategies and the field setup. If they were slog sweeping, probably they would have planned their onside field and probably how to which fielder to place where and everything. Even the small things matters. So I think the Indian players will be well planned. The coach and the captain must have definitely had a chat about it. So I have a feeling that we'll be a much improved or a much confident side after the warm up games getting into the World Cup match tomorrow.
Mihir, now let us come into the predictions and see which and tell me out which team you are supporting. We all know we are going to support Team India at the end of the day. But how do you see Team India winning this match? Is it going to be a big margin or is it going to be a close game or anything like that?
Obviously, the India is going to win. There's no doubt about that. Considering the overall team combinations, what we see, how we match up player to player, and just the record what you're showing, this is going to be 11-0 tomorrow. But yes, if we bat first, we have a good chance of getting them all out or restrict them to a lower total and help us win by a bigger margin. I think so. We should, if we bat first, we have a very good chance more than that and win big. Bat first, win big.
Yeah, that will be the perfect start, of course, to this ICC World Cup. Right. Omkar, your predictions, what could be the par score for tomorrow's game?
I feel like the how the warm up matches have been set up. I feel par score would be around 265 plus because sometimes in the World Cup match there is always pressure chasing a target about 260. So probably a target of 265 and above will be definitely a added pressure for Pakistan to chase. And the bowling lineup which we have, it's pretty much comfortable that we can restrict them to a total where we can win around 40 to 50 runs and just secure the 2 points in our first World Cup match.
Right. So, Niranjan, it is going to be a day-night game tomorrow. So, do you think, like back in India, how we have the dew factor? Do you think there will be this dew concern in New Zealand conditions? So, in case if India has to bowl second, the spinners will find it difficult.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they would have had a few sessions in under lights, and they'll be sure of the conditions there, and they would have prepared accordingly. Even if there is a bit of dew factor, I don't think it should bother the Indian bowlers. I think they'll be well prepared for it, and maybe gripping might slightly be difficult, but that's not going to. The bowlers definitely will not give that as an excuse. They'll wipe it off and then they'll just bowl. So I don't think it's going to be a major issue there.
Right. So, as we are all excited for the India Pakistan contest, which is less than 12 hours away from now, we are getting many questions from our viewers and fans. So, if you may allow, we can take a few of them for today. Right. So, Siddesh Vaikar is asking, we already have seen 4 centuries so far in 2 days. Who do you think can score century from India side tomorrow? So, I think I have Mihir's answer, who said Smriti and Shefali. So, let me ask Omkar, what do you think? Who is going to score century?
I would stick to Smriti Mandana, or I would go with the captain because the way she has led the team in the last many years, and probably with her experience, she's playing. So I would go with Mithali Raj or either Smriti Mandana.
Right. All right, cool. Can we have the next question? Okay, Rajeshwari Paramsimam is asking, India's main problem is strike rotation, dot ball percentage, then fielding or field setup, whether it has been addressed or any improvement or learning from New Zealand series. Niranjana, can you take this up?
The strike rotation has been actually improving every game. With Mithali anchoring most of the uh, matches. The five-match series against New Zealand. I don't think strike rotation was a problem. That's what, as I already mentioned, this New Zealand series was definitely a blessing for us because it would have given the entire Indian team an idea of how to go about in an exactly prepared way for the World Cup, and then the field setup syncs with your question of asking how the bowlers will prepare. There was clock sweeping and stuff like that. That question you asked me. So the again, they see everything is a learning curve. Just because they are there in the Indian team, it doesn't mean that they're not learning. Definitely, the girls are improving every match that we have seen in the course of the 5 games.
I think, viewers, there is some network issue maybe at Niranjana's end, but we'll be back again with her. All right. So we'll meanwhile take the next question. It is from Vinay Kumar. I think Shefali should be dropped and open with Yastika to have sufficient bowling option with three each seamers and spinners. Mir, I would like you to answer this.
Uh, I would stick with Shefali and the team as I just predicted a while back in a couple of questions. Like I want to see score her big, so I would stick with it. Yeah, Yastika is there an option? Yeah, and Shefali is, as I said, very young still. We should give her more chances. That's a long tournament. It is just not if it's not a group system where you're just playing a team twice and it's the game is very risky. All games are very at a high risk. Yes, we can give Shefali a chance, and we know how talented she is. So yes, the options what Vinay Kumarji is mentioning is there, but I think so. We have got a team very well balanced right now, so I don't think so. Shefali should be dropped.
Right. So Mihir feels that Shefali should play and he can open the batting, of course, with Smriti Mandhana. All right. We have one more question. It is from Siddesh Vaikar. If India bats first tomorrow, what should be the score they should look to put on? So I think Omkar, you mentioned around 265, right? So
Yes, 265 and above
yeah.
anything above 265 will be a blessing for us.
All right. Mir, your thoughts? Do you expect
Yes,
something?
yeah, same on the line what Omkar said. Like I just went through some stats at Bay Oval. It is like that. The average score
Hmm.
in last 3 years has been around 260. So yes, 265 plus. With the bowling what we have, if we bat first, obviously this should be enough. And Pakistan's batting has been a bit on a slower side. So yes, 265 plus, and if you get the run rate about 6, 7, we can mount the pressure with our spinners in middle.
Right. So both are fans. They seem to be in agreement that 265 could be the score that India should look at going into the match tomorrow. All right, so Chaitanya Rajhans has a question for us. Who is your finisher in this World Cup and who will steady the middle overs? Mir, can you take this up?
Okay. Uh, Finisher for me will be Richa. I'm looking forward to see her finish games. That is there. That's what she has been come up with the initial days, and I think so. She should get her chances in this tournament, and the world will take notice of that. And steady Harman and Mithali, no doubt about that. Like it has to be revolved around Mithali, and yes, with Harman getting that century in the warm-up game, she should be there in between, and we should be able to do good with this batters.
So, Richa Ghosh, I think we saw in the New Zealand series that she made the fastest ODI century by Indian women cricketer. So let us hope some more fireworks from Richa Ghosh's end tomorrow and of course going into the World Cup as well. All right, can we take up the another question? Okay, Wheel of Time is asking. He has a question for you, Niranjana. Sneh is like Jason Holder in the men's game in terms of impact. Shouldn't she be a lock in at number five because she can face more deliveries? Niranjana, your take on this?
Yeah, that's actually a very nice comparison. In terms of utility wise, in terms of potential wise, yes, she's there. And she is someone like Jason Holder. You know, she comes, she contributes to the bat, and she gives you that good spell, and you know she gets that wicket when you actually need it. But as far as her slot right now is concerned, there is a Deepthi Sharma. Okay, so it is not going to be very easy for her to get into the 11. Probably the test side is totally different, but for the one day side, you can't afford to have two off spinners in a single 11. You know, when you have especially varieties like a leg spinner and a left arm spinner, so I feel probably if at all one of these spinners fail to deliver, either a Rajesh Perry or a leg spinner, if they're going to have I mean, I wish they don't, I truly wish they don't, then Snake will be an option for them. So but I like this question. This question shows that women cricket is actually followed in a very very nice way. They're comparing uh, the thing. But this, in terms in for Sneha Rana, this is the situation. As much as we all would like to see her in action, but uh, there is another off spinner who's going to be there. And it's the same middle order. So if the position has to be replaced, then something uh, has to happen. The situation has to force itself to happen. It cannot happen very naturally. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Of course. Of course, and along with Deepti Sharma, we also have someone like Harmanpreet Kaur who can roll her arm over to
Exactly,
bowl his
exactly,
occasional
exactly.
off spin. All right.
I'm completely fine with Sneha Rana playing, but sadly, this is the situation.
Yeah. All right. So, can we take up the next question? Okay. Daniel Kundar is asking. My question is to all: what India should do to control their nerves in big games? So he's asking everyone. So maybe Mir, let's start with you.
Okay. uh, big games nerves India Pakistan, but I think so the squad, barring couple of players, we have a quite experienced squad who has played in the previous World Cup and some high pressure games also, and with experienced players like Julan and Mithali being there, so they would be easily be able to guide the younger ones and how to handle the pressure, and the lot is talented. So they know, they have come up from the domestic rank. They have also played in some other world tournaments also. So I think so. We should do good, and we should be one step ahead of what we did in the last World Cup.
Omkar, your take on this because we all know that India were there in the finals of 2005 World Cup, 2017 World Cup, and T20 World Cup in 2020. But unfortunately, India couldn't go past that. So, how should India handle the nerves during these big matches?
I guess we should stick to the plans what we'll be doing. Sometimes what happens if we are getting more dot balls, we just lose our patience and go for a shot, and that turns into a wicket. And this sometimes lead to a collapse, like we saw in the final of last World Cup. So I guess even if there are more dot balls coming, we should be able to rotate the strike and increase the runs on the scoreboard one by one. If it's fine if the scoreboard moves slowly, but in the end we can accelerate. So I guess this would be my tactic to control a collapse in such big World Cup matches, because a collapse in World Cup matches is it's almost take away the match from you, and we saw that in the 2017 final as well. We were playing pretty well, and we just lost by 10 runs because of the collapse which had happened.
Niranjana, finally your take, because you have been a part of Indian team in the World Cup. You have played many big matches for India. So how should Indian players handle this pressure?
I think all of them are pretty much experienced now, barring a few who are having their first outing in a major event. I think it's just about believing in themselves. If they believe in themselves, I think they can handle any kind of pressure. And the one thing which is really a positive thing about this bunch is that I mean, I find everybody fearless. Whoever comes into bat scores, whoever comes into bowl performs. So it's just a matter of self belief, and I'm sure with winning games prior to the World Cup, the belief in themselves would be a little higher than uh, what it was before they entered New Zealand. So if they just believe in themselves, I think they can really handle pressures, and they can control their nerves in the big games, as Daniel is asking.
Of course. So nice and a very simple message by Niranjana. Believe in yourself. That should be the motto for the Indian team. All right. We have one question from Rajeshwari. Whether India will maintain the left hand right hand combination, or whether Deepthi coming in at number three will be helpful. If Smriti Mandhana and Shefali open the batting, who are the other players best to play at number three? Number three to five. So probably she's asking who can bat from three to five, because we have seen sometimes Deepti Sharma coming in at number three, then followed by Harmanpreet Kaur at four, Mithali Raj at five. So probably three, four, five. What could be the combination? Niranjana, if you can answer this.
I think one drop should be. Um, See, Deepthi can come one down depending on the situation. Definitely, it's not right away that Deepthi will be given the number three slot. Number three slot should be Mithali. Number four should be. I mean, that is one drop should be Mithali, two drop should be Harman, and then three drop should be Deepthi. We have an Yastika coming up. Probably, if you need really to explode, probably that time you can send Yastika a little up the order. That's exactly my take on this. Otherwise, I think Mitali has been the best batter for India over the years, and I don't think there should be any shuffle in the batting order. uh, this is my opinion. Number three should definitely be Mitali, because the best batter in your side has to bat at number three, you know and Harman has performed and done well at number four. And Deepthi is a very street smart cricketer. She can chip in singles, and she can give you the boundaries at number coming number, I mean, three drop. So I think one, two, and three will be Mithali, Harman, and Deepthi, and then comes Yastika for me.
All right. So let us see what India does with the middle order going into the match tomorrow, and of course, all the way through the World Cup. All right. So it has been wonderful talking to all of you. Thank you, Niranjana. Thank you, Omkar, Mihir, Ninal, Dhanush, for taking out time and talking to us, female cricket, about this India Pakistan match. Okay. So Chandrani Das says best wishes. Of course, yes. Okay, I love my India. Okay, so you can sense that there is a lot of excitement among the fans, and I'm sure everybody is going to sleep early tonight because they have to wake up before 6:30 a.m. to catch all the live action between India and Pakistan. So yes, once again, thank you to all of you for watching this. Okay, Andy Perry is also saying India jeetega kal. Okay, all right, so we can go on and on, but okay, let us cut this short. So thank you once again. Thank you to all the viewers and fans for watching this. So once again, a gentle reminder: India take on Pakistan tomorrow, that is March 6th, at the Bay Oval in Mount Maunganui. The match will start at 6:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and you can catch all the live action on Star Sports and Disney Plus Hotstar. And we'll be back again tomorrow after the India-Pakistan match. We'll be back at 3 p.m. to discuss the post-match of the India-Pakistan contest. So do tune in to Female Cricket Live and send in all your questions using hashtag Female Cricket Live and join our conversations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.